Busted, of course, away trip coming up on Saturday, Chesterfield, obviously the opponents, but just to start with, obviously this week, training-wise, how have the boys been following last Saturday's win?
Yeah, good. Obviously, spirits were good. It was nice to get the first win for the boys. Obviously, the performance was probably on par with other performances that we've had where we haven't won games. So we know there's still a lot of room for us to improve. We know the areas that we need to improve, both individually and collectively. So yeah, but it was nice, and obviously the boys have come in this week with a little bit more energy. Also because we know what a tough challenge Saturday is going to be against Chesterfield. So yeah, we've had a really good week.
I suppose after the game on Saturday, Mike mentioned about obviously getting the first win, potentially settling a few nerves here and there, but is that something you've noticed at all this week, that any nerves have been settled, or do you not really feel there was sort of that much in that sense to cover?
No, not too much really. I think obviously the performances have been more the thing that settled the boys' nerves in terms of after the first game where we were really good, we performed really well. I think that was kind of the first hurdle in terms of if boys did have any doubts that they belonged at this level. I think that settled everyone. Obviously the longer you go on without winning, there is a few question marks going to pop up for the boys, so getting that win is nice for them in that sense. But I think the performances have been really good, and it's kind of give the boys the confidence to understand that they do belong at this level, and that we are a good side at this level as well.
You mentioned Chesterfield, obviously coming up on Saturday, top of the league at the minute, going pretty well. Obviously you had a similar test away at Wrexham recently in terms of going away to a side who are well supported and expected to be right up there come the end of the season, but how he is looking at that one?
Yeah, again, it's why we wanted to be in this league. It's going to be an unbelievable game for us. Obviously, they get a lot of support. They're a huge club. They're a very good side with very good players. It's just something that we're really looking forward to. You said we played Wrexham last week. We've learned a lot of lessons from the Wrexham game. We're looking to sort of implement them in the Chesterfield game. But we just can't wait to get down there and hopefully put performance on. And one thing that we are assured of is that everyone will work as hard as what they possibly can, and everyone's doing all they possibly can to go and win the game. And
with, I suppose, going away to teams where you'll have that sort of underdog tag and be looked at that way by supporters and pundits, however, going into it, but does that change at all how you sort of approach games, look at games? Obviously you mentioned your process and the way you look at things, but is that pretty much a constant that's just staying the same no matter who you're playing and the odds against you?
Yeah, really, we don't look at ourselves as underdogs or favourites or anything like that. We really just focus on ourselves and how we want to perform in the game. Obviously we have a certain way in which we play. We want to try and work as hard as we possibly can to make sure we don't come away from that, and we just strengthen that week by week, session by session. We get better at doing the things what we're good at. So in terms of underdogs or anything like that, it doesn't really change our approach to anything. We know that every game in this league is going to be tough, so if for any game at all we take our foot off the pedal, we know we're going to get punished for that. So we need to make sure that every game's a cup final. That's our mentality. Every session we come in, we try and give our maximum. We talk about emptying the tank energy wise, and every game's got to be a cup final approach for us, and this is no different. It's just against a team that's currently top of the league, and obviously, as I said previously, they're a massive club and they've got a very good side, so it's going to be a very tough test for us.
And in terms of the squad themselves going into the weekend, obviously a couple of lads came off on Saturday, but how are things looking ahead of this weekend?
Yeah, Mags came off with his back. He's trained today for the first time, so we'll see how that settles down. Kenton came off with his ankle, which was a tackle off the pitch, so it's frustrating. He isn't going to be ready for Saturday, and he's been so good for us as well, so that's frustrating that he's going to be out. Forbes, he trained today, so hopefully he's in contention for the squad. Jarv, we're still looking at getting training, and we don't want to rush him back. Aaron Martin the same. We still need to get some training weeks into him before we can think about putting him back in the squad. But Louis Story comes back in. He's available for selection after his groin settled down. So obviously we've lost Kenton, but we've gained Louis back, and also we've had another week of Jevon training with us, which helps his cause. The way we play, we need to have clear instruction, especially for the centre half. So we've had a week's working with him, so hopefully he's more clear on how we play, so it strengthens his case to be involved as well.